Tonight we'll go a different way, you and me. Tell your friends that this might take some time and you'll be back another day. I can see us breaking down the barrier. Oh yeah. With the speed of light we cross the stratosphere. Oh yeah, we can go so far, so far away. Baby, let's go far, so far, you and me. Let's dance the night away, we're locked together far away, you and me. We'll have a celebration to an unknown destination, can't you see? I can see us breaking down the barrier. Oh yeah. With the speed of light we cross the stratosphere. Oh yeah. We can go so far, so far away. Baby, let's go far, so far, you and me.
Hi guys, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone is having a great, what's today, Wednesday? Oh my gosh, I don't even know what day it is anymore. Do you guys feel like that? Do you guys feel like you wake up and you're like, is it Monday? Is it Saturday? I don't know. I don't know. So I hope everyone's having a fantastic Wednesday, and let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. I hope that you guys are all feeling great and taking care of yourselves. I'm not going to talk really long about this, especially because a lot of these streams get watched for a long time after they've gone live and after they've been recorded. But at the time of filming this, we're having a really turbulent couple of weeks in the USA, in our nation, and I just want to say that I hope that you're all taking care of yourselves, being kind to yourselves, and allowing yourselves to feel all the feelings that you can feel. I don't want to say too much other stuff, but as someone who's from Washington D.C. actually, and the military brat of two really accomplished, high-ranking military doctors, I'm a very patriotic person, and the stuff that is happening in our country right now, I find very distressing, and so I just hope that you all are taking care of yourselves, and we can talk about shopping and clutter for an hour, or at least 45 minutes, and just kind of take our minds off of it for a little while. So hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, Mary Ellen. Hello, Erica. Hello, Brianna. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Albert. Ooh, my goodness. Hello, Francis. Thank you. Hello, Emma. Hello, Michelle. Oh, Michelle, happy birthday. It is Michelle's birthday. Everyone, little happy birthdays in the chat for Michelle. We'll sing a little do 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 do. That's like the Animal Crossing happy birthday tune, because the real tune is copyrighted, and we don't want that here. Hi, Maggie. So today I thought I would take a little bit of time and talk about shopping and bringing clutter in the house when you don't mean to. I mean, it happens a lot. Shopping is something that's super fun, but is a problem for a few clients I have of mine. We talk about the processes we go through to sort of heal this shopping, either compulsive shopping or impulsive shopping. And it's important to recognize that these are two completely different phenomenons, that impulse shopping pretty much happens to everyone. Compulsive shopping is it's not copyrighted anymore, Alexis? I didn't know that. Happy birthday. Well, now I don't know the tune. So mindful shopping and stopping clutter in at the source can be a really powerful tool in preventing some of the clutter buildup in your own home and in your space. So sometimes it is really fun to do a little retail therapy. And retail therapy is something that we talk about and we kind of joke about. We're like, oh, we're out for a little retail therapy. If you've had a bad day, you may go to, you may go to like Marshall's, or you may go to the shoe store, or anywhere you like to shop. I love to go to Home Goods. Shocker. I love to go to Home Goods and like look around and maybe pick up something. And then when you do, you get a little bit of a dopamine hit, just the same as if you had, a nice cup of coffee, ate some really nice food, and other things that you do to get hits of dopamine that we won't talk about in order not to get demonetized here on the live stream. But so every time that you buy something and it feels good and you're shopping, it's exciting, you get a little hit of dopamine and endorphins, and that can become a really powerful healer if you've had a bad day, right? It's the same as, doing like eating candy when you've had, like people don't break up with their significant others. All of a sudden they're like in bed eating ice cream. That's, that whole stereotype, that whole trope of that. It's retail therapy. Retail therapy is the same thing. But often in the West here or wherever you're watching from, where you have a lot of abundance, we have a lot of choices. So we can choose to like go to any amount of stores. And now in 2021, when this is being filmed, you can also shop online pretty easily. I get a lot of, I talk to a lot of people who are, now that it's, that we're dealing with this current world situation and where we're home a lot more and in stores a lot less. We're doing a lot of online shopping, like a lot. I talked to a few people who were shopping online almost every day. And this means packages are arriving every day, and there's just not enough space to put all of this stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to recognize some of those things that you may be doing that may be actually getting clutter into your home, and how to sort of mitigate that so that you don't have to deal with all of the stuff in your house, but you're like, why did I buy this? So the first thing I wanted to, repeat is that retail therapy is definitely a real thing. And actually, there's been research done on retail therapy showing that it actually is helpful, and that people who buy things when they are feeling bad usually don't regret the purchases, right? I know that in my own experiences, when I was going out and having a bad day and I was like, you know what, I've had a really bad week. I'm going to go, to Anthropologie and go buy myself a couple of tops. And when I came home with those tops, I was like, these are so cute. I don't feel bad about it. Usually there's no guilt or remorse built into this this sort of retail therapy, impulse shopping. The issue arises when you find yourself with emotional, financial, and household consequences during doing this repeated action of you bringing home the items and then not having a place for them to go or just not using them. If you're creating a crippling debt situation for yourself, if you have more things, if you're bringing home more things than you can actually store, that's an issue. So the first sort of step I want to encourage people to take is to stop using shopping as a remedy for a bad day. And again, I understand I have totally done this. I'm always want to be upfront with you in saying that I'm a human talking to another human, and that I have all of the same like habits, tendencies, and idiosyncrasies than that most people do. But if you find yourself bringing home more items than you can use or store, or if you find yourself bringing home items and then you either leave them in the bag or you don't have a place for them when you get home, you need to stop using shopping as a remedy for a bad day and try to redirect that emotion or redirect that sort of anxiety reducing activity to something else. Walk your dog, do some exercise, eat some fruit, talk to a friend. Talking to a friend is actually really effective, or talking to your spouse, talking to your pets even. I've actually found that talking to, when I didn't want to talk to anybody and I talked to my dog about something I was experiencing or some emotions that I was experiencing, it actually was really helpful. Even though he can't really understand a lot of the things that I'm saying, he can totally, he looks like he's listening, right? First of all, which is very important, is I feel like a lot of the therapy in talking with people about our emotions and talking about our emotions is feeling like we're heard, right? So that's getting the first step is like Clover looks like he's listening to me. Like, and he is, he's listening. He's like, oh my gosh, what are you saying? When am I going to hear the word tree? You know, he's just like, he's really engaged, and I don't really care how he's engaged. He's just engaged with me. But I find that when I actually talk to my pets or talk to my dog about my experiences, I feel a lot better, and I can get out a lot of that anxiety I was feeling. So redirecting these anxieties or these stresses in something much more less financially damaging is going to be one of the first steps you can do. And it's hard, right? It's very tempting. The internet is right there. If you like, Amazon is way too easy to use in 2021. I remember when Amazon was just books. Do you guys remember that? When Amazon was just like, if you needed a book, you would go on Amazon, and it would take like 2 weeks. You know, you have to wait in the mail for 2 weeks. And now, if you want, like, if I need a piece of like a cable, right? I just order on Amazon and it can be there like tomorrow or even tonight in some cases. So the internet has made it very easy to acquire things very quickly and at a very low cost. So just try to resist the urge to take out your bad day and your stresses in a shopping manner. Sorry, I have some notes here that I'm looking at, and I lost my place. And then going to the gym, if you can still go to the gym, emptying the dishwasher, actually doing anything more productive can be more helpful than, say like watching TV or something like that. So if you're feeling anxious and you do something that's productive, like you do a chore, you vacuum the floor, you clean the toilet or something. These things are not fun, right? But afterward, you feel like you've accomplished something, and it actually can make you feel a little bit better. It doesn't give you the same dopamine hit that shopping does, but it can sort of take the edge off a little bit. And then you're less likely to want to spend a whole bunch of money after you've done something productive. I found it's a really weird thing. Yes, we are talking about retail therapy. Has that been you for the last few months? Yeah, I mean, we have all been kind of dealing with this a lot of different stressors, especially right now in January 2021. A lot of different stressors in the past 9-10 months that we're all universally feeling and dealing with. And I want to to say that in doing research for this talk, I did find out, and I'm not surprised, that the act of compulsive shopping, or if someone who is addicted to shopping and who can't stop shopping, that disorder, and it is a disorder, and hoarding are often very closely linked together. Not necessarily, they're not mutually exclusive, that one can exist without the other. But what I'd said just didn't make sense. But they often coexist together. And compulsive shopping is also tied to a number of other anxiety disorders and depressive disorders. So if you feel like you have a problem with shopping, like if you are compulsively shopping, like you feel like you can't help yourself, then I definitely want to encourage you to seek some therapy. I was going to link some resources down below. I will after this live stream is over. I forgot to do that before I started. But definitely, I mean, there's a lot of hoarding and compulsive shopping are definitely like almost two sides of the same coin, because you get this thrill from shopping, right? You bring home the item and then you feel so guilty about having purchase this item that you don't really want to use, but you don't have the power to relinquish it, right? You just want to hold on to the item. So it's a really slippery slope and an upsetting kind of cycle. I have to say, eBay is your main online shop arena. Wow, eBay has a whole other thing going on with it, especially if it's an auction on eBay, because then there's the whole like, am I going to win this auction kind of thing on top of it as well. And that also can create, it like feeds into that whole like anxiety, but also like thrilling kind of feeling. It's a weird thing. But I don't know. Does eBay have mostly auctions anymore? Or is it mostly just like the buy it now option? I remember when eBay was like just auctions. Remember that? I haven't bought anything off eBay in a long time. I did buy something off Etsy recently. Etsy's pretty fun. The only thing I buy off Etsy, though, is plants. Plants are fun to buy off Etsy. The other thing that I recommend to people who are having trouble with bringing items into their homes, especially from online, is to unsubscribe from marketing emails to remove temptation. I know that I get a bunch of marketing emails in my, not my work email box, but my personal email box. And every now and again, I have to go through and unsubscribe, because when you get that email, and I happen to find this often happens with products I really like I love plants, right? I love plants. And I bought a plant from Plant Arena, which is not only has the factor of it sells great plants, but it's also owned by an influencer who I really like. So I tend to open the email every time I get the email, right? The marketing email that actually gets sent to me, like I feel like 4 times a week. And I open the email and then I browse the website. I actually never buy anything. I've only purchased once from Plant Arena, but I do look at the website every time I open the email, and I'm like, I should just unsubscribe from this, because if I really wanted to shop there, I know where it is, right? I know where to go. So it just removes the temptation from window shopping online if I, remove the temptation to begin with. Plant Arena, yeah. Plant Arena, like plant. I'll spell it in the chat. Plant Arena, like that. And probably you should not look at it. The woman that owns it is named Amanda. She's very wacky, and that's why I like her. But she sells rather expensive, but high quality houseplants on her website. I mean, I'm not advertising for her, but I did buy a very nice monster at Insonii for like $75 on her website. I got a gift card. I didn't really actually purchase. Anyway, remove yourself from marketing emails. It can really help. I mean, and you don't realize how many you are receiving until you start to unsubscribe, and it's a ton. Like every time you buy something from a website, almost every time it will subscribe you to some email list as part of your purchasing process. And sometimes you can catch yourself, and uncheck the box. And sometimes it's hard to not check the box because they make it intentionally difficult to not sign up for the email list when you purchase something. But just be mindful when you purchase something to not sign up for the email list unless you want to receive emails. I only intentionally receive emails from a few manufacturers because I want to know what their products are. For business purposes, like I do look at Container Store emails and emails from like Common Good and Dyson and stuff that I care about in a business kind of way, but not really in a shopping kind of way. Like I'm not shopping there; I'm just looking there for information. So my next tip is to window shop instead of purchase, and this applies mostly for when you're out physically shopping, which we're not doing in a lot of right now, but it still applies because a study shows that window shopping or hypothetical shopping is just as therapeutic as actually doing the retail therapy. Now, it's really hard to believe this, but it is. And there was a point in my life where I didn't think window shopping was going to be very satisfying, but it actually is. If I've had a bad day, I definitely will go online, and I do this all the time, and I don't talk about it. I've gone online, and I will window shop online and fill my cart full of items. Like I will add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. I do it on all kinds of websites. I do it on I said I wasn't shopping in Anthropology anymore, but I can't resist. So I do it on Anthropology. I never buy anything. I do it on Anthropology. I do it on Amazon. I just fill my cart up with stuff. I actually do it the most on Etsy. That's the worst. I'll be shopping and I'll go back to my cart like 2 days later and everything is sold out because Etsy's, they'll sell like 2 or 3 of a kind of something. But yeah, if you like plants, don't go on Plantarina. You'll be very tempted. Go to the channel and watch her videos. But wow, the website is very expensive. And at first I was I'm sorry, I'm going off the rails here and talking about Plantarina. At first I was I was like offended about the prices, and then I was like, well, there must be a reason for the high prices, and I feel like sometimes if it's like a USA kind of deal and they are handling all the plants by hand and everything arrives so beautifully packaged and perfect. Both of the plants that I received, actually all 3 of the plants I received from Plantarina are doing amazingly, so maybe. But anyway, add to cart and just leaving the cart is one of the best, most therapeutic things I've been doing, especially during the pandemic. There were occasions, to be totally truthful, where I added to cart and actually did purchase the cart maybe a week later. And that's another helpful thing that I always advise people to do is if you are thinking about purchasing something and you're not 100% sure that you have a purpose for it, that you have a space for it when it gets home, don't buy it right away. If you're out in a store, take a picture of the item and leave and come back. Leave after a day and come back. I used to do that all the time. I used to pick up an item and be like, well, I don't know. And, if it was some superfluous item, right, like a shirt or, vase, something decorative that I didn't really need, but I kind of liked and I was considering, I would just take a picture. And if I referenced the picture in a couple of days or a day or two, then I would go back and find it. And very rarely have I found that I could not go back and purchase it after the fact if I couldn't stop thinking about it. So that's another strategy that's really helped me stop bringing items in that I didn't really need, is just sort of put them on hold. And I also want to come to you and be totally honest and say that there was a point in my life where I was buying a lot of stuff. A lot. There was a point in my life where I went to shop for clothes, and I was in the process of sort of replacing everything in my wardrobe, so it wasn't completely unfounded, but it was excessive, where I went shopping once a week for clothes every week, and I brought something home. It was a lot. And I guess I could justify it at the time by saying I was fashion blogging, and it was like a business expense or whatever, and I had to keep up with the trends. But it was like a lot, and that it spilled over to like other areas in my life too. I became sort of like a shopper, and I found myself in much more debt than I wanted to. I found myself having much less money than I wanted to. So nowadays I'm very mindful of things I bring into my home. So the capture and hold strategy has been very helpful. Definitely. Oh yeah, everyone's talking about my plant related shirt. A client gave this to me actually. Did I buy this shirt? I don't know. I did buy this shirt. A client gave me another shirt that was very similar. It's like a sweatshirt that's very similar. I do have like a plant love like issue. I guess it's not an issue. I love them. I always have. When I was a kid, I would just go and pick things and put them in vases around my room, I did that with little minnows too in the lake. I would go and capture minnows from the lake and bring them home in a jar, and they would die like 2 weeks later because it's not a fish tank. But I don't know. That was my life. I would catch bugs too. Anyway, we're not talking about me. The last strategy I always recommend is shopping mindfully and purposefully. When you're out shopping for things or online shopping for things, there's a couple of methods of control that I like to use for myself, and questions that you can ask yourself when you are online and you think that you need something but you really don't. So the line of questioning I like to use for myself and other people I tell is one, was I looking to buy this item already? Often when we're online and we're shopping and we see something, let's be honest, okay? Amazon, Facebook, and Google are very good at their job. Very good at their job. Especially on Facebook, I found, and on Instagram, which are, I guess, one and the same, they are extremely good at marketing to me, right? Because I've made it clear to them what I like. I'm tapping on all the things that I like. And they're like, oh, you might like this. You might like these plates. I did buy plates one time because they were recommended to me. But we needed new plates. But they are always recommending things to me that I want to buy, that I wasn't looking for already, right? There's a bunch of things that are fun to have that you weren't actually thinking that you needed, right? Just 30 minutes ago, I was on Instagram and I saw an ad for this humidifier, and the marketing was like, never clean a humidifier again, the cleanest humidifier. And I was like, do I need that? Because I hate cleaning humidifiers, right? But then I was like, I own 4 humidifiers that have not killed me yet because I clean them with vinegar. And yeah, it's a pain in the butt to clean them, but I do not need another humidifier. And then to have wasted all those, So I always ask myself, was I looking to buy this item already anyway? It can stop you in your tracks, full stop. Like if you see something cute, you're like, oh, was I looking for those though? And especially if you're out shopping and you're out shopping purposely for one thing, but you look and you see something else that you like, but you're like, but was I looking for that anyway? No. If you were not, please keep moving. Number 2, will it serve a meaningful purpose in my life? I know this is like a very deep-seated question, like it's kind of a deep, meaningful purpose. But it doesn't have to be super deep, right? Meaningful purpose can mean like, did I need toilet paper? Yes, it serves a meaningful purpose in my life. I need to like clean up after I use the bathroom. Or did I need this book, this self-help book? Was I looking for a self-help book? Will it serve meaningful purpose in my life? Maybe. Sure. But if it's something that you want or that you are tempted to get because you feel you feel impulsive about it, and it's not going to serve a meaningful purpose in your life, then I urge you to either put it on hold or pass it by. Number 3, do I have something similar already? I find this one comes up a lot often. This is something that comes up often with people I talk to, is that they will have not 2 of something, but 3 of something and 4 of something that is very much the same. And I'm not talking about things that are more practical, like maybe you might want 2 or 3 black t-shirts if that's your like personal uniform. However, do you need 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 very similar like cell phone holders? Or what else do you have that's very similar that it's totally unnecessary? Things that you just shouldn't have multiples of in your home. Because I find that sometimes I have things that will serve the same purpose but aren't the same thing. You know what I mean? Like let's say tongs, for instance. Tongs are like a really strange thing. Do you guys like this for tongs, right? And there's different kinds of tongs. And again, kitchen things can be really good. The kitchen things are really bad about this. Like, because kitchen things can be multi-purpose. Like, you can actually squeeze things with tongs, like citrus squeezer, although it's a little more difficult. But sometimes you're like, well, I need these special, grill tongs for the grill. And you're like, wait, I don't actually need the special grill tongs when I have regular tongs. 5 spatulas. I mean, the only rationality I can make for having more than one kind of similar shaped spatula is nonstick versus, stainless steel kind of deal. But and even then, if you have like one for nonstick pans, you could probably get away with that. But just make sure that you don't have something similar already. Yeah. Kitchen stuff is so bad about that. And like, I've been guilty of like, let's be honest. I love kitchen stuff. It's fun. I like to cook. And I have a bunch of like those one-use kitchen items, but they're not causing me any distress. So I'm not trying to get rid of them, but I'm not buying a bunch of them either. Number 4. I feel like this is the most important line of questioning when you're out shopping or shopping online. And this one is like a multi-pronged question. Can I make space for it? And do I have a place for it when I get home? This is a big one. A big one. A lot of people are out shopping and they have no place for the item when it gets home. And I was thinking about this a couple of days ago in preparing, and I came up with this really wacky metaphor, but it helped me. Okay? Your house and everything in it is kind of like a puzzle. Let me know in the chat if you like puzzles. I don't like puzzles anymore. I used to do when I was a kid, but I don't like them anymore. Your house is like a puzzle, right? And all of the things in it, your furniture, items that you have, people within it, food, things, are like pieces of the puzzle. If you're out shopping or online shopping, can the thing that you are bringing home or going to have brought to your home, can it fit in your puzzle? Do you have an empty puzzle piece? Or is your puzzle full? If your puzzle is full and you're putting your piece on top, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. So consider if you have space for the item when it comes into your home. Last. Oh, everybody, you go. Oh, good. We're getting puzzles in the chat. Cats mean puzzles don't happen. Yeah, cats are notorious for knocking things off counters and tables, aren't they? Why do they do that? They're like, meh, 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 meh. I had a cat who used to do that like all the time just for funsies, and I don't understand why that was. He used to break stuff, frankly. Like he broke a couple of glasses, a candle, big hurricane candle holder. I remember one day, nightmare. Oh, you're literally doing a puzzle right now. Nice. And the last thing I want you to ask yourself if you're very tempted to like do the shopping is, when do I plan on using this / enjoying it? And it needs to be a very deliberate time or occasion. And you need to be able to like say very specifically when and how you're going to use this. And if any of the language that you use with yourself is like, someday, maybe I'll need it for, well, I might decide to, then I want you to acknowledge that you don't have a specific situation in which you will use the item. Like if I can say, I am going to wear this dress for a recital, or I'd like to wear this for an audition, then okay, great. But if you have something and you're like, well, maybe one day, if I have a party, I might use these glasses for a specific cocktail, which I've never made, and don't know the recipe to, but it would be cute, right? Those are the kinds of thought processes that I find bring in clutter, because the lack of these specific circumstances in which you can use items can really be a huge like roadblock into really living a fulfilled life with your items. And it sounds dumb to say that, but I always want to encourage people to approach their home and their things from a place of love and respect, and not keeping up with the Joneses or the thrill of buying or status. And that's something we're, I guess, trying to recover from as a culture, especially in the USA. I know that for a long time, we were associating more and more excess and items, designer stuff, with status. You know, if you, right now, still, like today, like if you have a Tesla, you immediately get cool points because of the name and the car. I'm not saying that Tesla is bad. Tesla's neutral, right? I like Tesla, right? I would, if I could afford a Tesla, 100%, it would be the next car I would buy. But more because of the environmental impact that I can make from having an electric car, rather than the status of having a Tesla. I think that the status symbol, I guess, addiction that we have right now in our country, I think, or in our culture, I'm sorry, is, I think it's definitely dying down a little bit. I want to say, but just be mindful of it, that it's still a thing. That I feel like you can, and not to disparage having designer items or items that are expensive, because also I agree that you should buy quality and not quantity, right? It's always to me, it makes more sense to buy one very expensive thing that will last you a very long time rather than buy 10 cheap things over time and have them break and replace them. So I'm not disparaging that, but I am saying that just be mindful of the keeping up with the Joneses mentality, because it's something that we've been suffering from a long time. And that I feel like we're entering a time in our culture right now where we might care less about it. Maybe that's me being optimistic, but because of what we've gone through, I feel like over the past 10 months, has it been 10 months? I think it's been 10 months, that maybe our mindset about those things is changing a little bit. And I will be talking a little bit about the Minimalist documentary that was on Netflix. That premiered on the 1st of January. I have some thoughts about it, and I'm going to save those for a video, but I will be talking about that documentary. So that's all I had to say about shopping. I talked for like 40 minutes. So I'm going to go back and look at the chat. Thank you for being patient with me while I talked. I was an event planner and I have so much stuff, but did not want to part with them yet. Oh my gosh. Yeah. As an event planner, you must have like so much of that, like that party stuff. Yeah. The someday stuff, I can't imagine. I think that it's also hard to let go of some of the stuff that we use professionally, that we need for our jobs. I have a container of containers. And sometimes I look at the container of containers and I go, what am I doing? But more often than not, I actually go through the container of containers and repurpose them and use them. But like, it's a thing. It's very weird. Very weird. I started to do this last year and it's helped so much, starting to feel like I was drowning in stuff. Oh, you were decluttering? Yeah, Yeah, so it's so helpful to like let go of this stuff. Let go of the stuff. I don't know that this mindset is dying. It just looks different. Oh, we aren't buying status per se, but trying to buy this ideal image of ourselves. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. Like, I've been noticing, especially with the rise of the popularity of organizing, what started with the rise of Marie Kondo and her work and her book, and then the home edit thing, and then the minimalists, which all sort of kind of blew up around, I want to say like 2014-ish, that it seems like to me that like there's been a shift in the mindset just a little bit, that getting rid of stuff is the new thing. But also, I mean, there still is definitely like a Kardashian effect of having fancy and nice things. And I do see, I am still seeing, a few videos on YouTube, like, look at my very expensive closet, but I don't see a lot of great, amazing comments underneath them. And also it really depends on who is showing and the manner of which they're showing the stuff. But I don't know if we're doing a lot of the stuff showing anymore. And maybe it's because, we're all going through a really tough time, not only we're in a health crisis, but it's, a lot of people are in a financial crisis and they don't really want to see, Chanel purses and pearl earrings and all that. Another thing that helps to say to myself is there something else I can do with this money? Yeah, that's really helpful. Also, is to reevaluate what happens to the money that you save by not buying the thing that you actually don't need. if you find that you don't need it, or will get significant value out of it for the rest of your life, or at least temporarily, because it's astounding how much money I spent. Like, we're talking like maybe like 2008, 2009. I was spending a lot of money, like every week I was going crazy. And I mean, to my credit, I still have a lot of those items, and I don't really regret doing all of that shopping, but a lot of those things like don't fit me anymore, and some of them are gone, some of them are ugly, like it's a lot of money. My daughter asked me to help. Oh my gosh, I keep hitting this boom arm because I'm like way over here. My daughter asked me to help her organize her pantry. I was so happy to have the container of containers. Yeah, the container of containers is more of like a thing that I keep around for me and the channel. I think it's more of like, it's like an ever evolving prop that I use. Definitely, for sure. I'm crazy. Oh, having a budget has helped you a lot. Oh, great. Yeah. Having a budget for, like how much shopping you can do per month or per week or whatever is often really helpful, because it holds you accountable. And when you spend more than what your budget is, it can be, a reality check and be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I found that like my bank has this sort of check system where it shows you, because if you use your bank card for shopping, it'll show you like what you're actually spending your money on, whether it's like entertainment, utilities, food. And you can get a breakdown about like how much money you're actually spending on whatever. And sometimes it gets very sobering. You're like, I spent how much money on entertainment this month? Like, oh my goodness, what have I done? I can tell you with 100% honesty that like most of the money I spend is on food. Food is like one of those things where you're just like, okay, we're buying food. Because especially like these last 10 months, I feel like I got nothing else going on. I might as well cook something. So it's been just like really fun, like just buying food and stuff. Question, most regrettable purchase, or time, money, investment. Regrettable purchase. Oh, I know. I purchased a subscription to, and this is like a professional, I was like a member of a stock footage website for like a year and forgot about it. And it was like $1,200, like an annual fee. But not like all at once, but like over time. And I regretted it so much. I think I only used it a couple times to get stock footage. And that was my most regretful purchase. And I remember I was doing my bookkeeping in January, like it was a couple of years ago. And I was like, what is this? I'm like, what have I done? Why did I do this? Like, I hate this. And probably also Adobe Subscription. So yeah, $1,200. Yeah, annually. It was something that I thought was going to be really useful, and it wasn't. I mean, thankfully, it was a professional purchase, but it was not worth it to me. And I've been very careful about what assets I invest in for my business ever since. That was like a few years ago. And I've found much more affordable assets ever since. And I belong to like a site called Motion Array now that's like much more cost effective and much better. I spent $500 $500 on collector dolls because I was obsessed with them as a kid, and I honestly hate myself for it. Oh no, Madeline. Well, I mean, definitely I want to encourage people to be kind to themselves about past purchases that they've found that haven't been, very beneficial for their lives, and to just move on. The money has already been spent. I was actually just talking to my therapist about this today, about being kind to oneself, because it can be, if you hold yourself to a really high standard, it can be really difficult to give yourself the same grace you give other people. But to just be kind to yourself and just say, hey, that's what I was doing at the time. Maybe it was cool, maybe it wasn't, but not to not reflect on past behavior, but to just give yourself a little bit of a break. You know what I mean? A most regrettable purchase. I lost $600 on a cruise because I wasn't able to do the follow paperwork and to get my refund. Oh yeah. I've done something very similar. I think when I was younger, is I didn't get a refund because I didn't do something in time, and that's the worst feeling. Is when you you could have gotten money back, but you didn't. It's terrible. But again, yeah, lesson learned. Good. Yeah, you got to be kind to yourself about that kind of stuff. It's just, it's a yucky feeling for sure to know that you just left money on the table. And as I'm getting older, I'm learning about what is really important in regards to leaving money on the table, and letting some things go. But it is a bad feeling when you do that. So, oh my gosh. Well, I hope this was helpful. So next week is the 20th, which is Inauguration Day here in the US. So I don't think I'm going to be live streaming in the daytime. It's not a normal inauguration by any standards. So I just want to give a little bit of space online on that day. But I will be back the week afterward, and we'll be talking more about organizing stuff. I do have, and I do want a little housekeeping. I do have some guests lined up for February, which I'm really excited about. Melissa Maker's coming back. We're not going to have any echo issues this time. But there are some really exciting things coming up on the channel in the next few weeks. I do have some really, really exciting brand collaborations that I'm also warning you. There's going to be some brand mentions more than usual this month, just because January is really slow with AdSense, so I have to sort of balance that out a little bit, and I'd rather have a brand pay me than other things. So, but there are some really exciting things coming up that I think you'll be excited about. So I hope you're looking forward to that. But if you are wanting to get away from the nonsense tonight, we're doing a live stream on my other channel, on The Organized Gamer. We're going to do some island visits, Animal Crossing, tonight at 8. So if you guys want to tune in for that and be goofy, that's super fun. Otherwise, I will see you all I won't see you, but there's a video going up on Friday that I hope you'll all like. But I hope that you guys enjoyed. And again, please take care of yourselves during this really weird time. It's so weird today. It's weird today. This whole week is weird. So whatever you're going through, I hope that it's cool. I hope that you are kind to yourself. Do a little face mask or whatever you need to do to feel better. Make some nice food. Get away from the news for a little bit. Just remind yourself to be kind to yourself. So, all right, you guys. I hope you're having a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I was going to press the stream ending button for the gaming channel, but that would be really weird. So instead, we're going to do this. Bye.